we saw our video as like a way to spread a positive message. So it was getting a lot of hate. There was a lot of hateful comments. And then me and Saurav were actually in a call, and he was reading me all these hateful comments.
Humor is a good way to kind of get stuff across to people, and we couldn't, if it was kind of, we just created a post saying like with just the message itself, it wouldn't have gotten the attention it did. But because we were able to do something that's uncomfortable to the majority of men out there, that wouldn't, because if you had looked at most of the comments, they started talking about, you're wasting your sister's makeup, you're doing this, I would never be caught doing this, one guy said like, I'd rather die than do something like this.
Some guy was like, sex ko kati yesto gareko. I'm like, dude, that's not the point.
So the Kitty post was earlier than ours. Ojaswile post gareko. And that's where the big hubbub started, right? That's where all the hate was piling suruma. Ani, the thing that surprised me the most was the utter lack of empathy and compassion on the part of the guys who were commenting. किनभने सुरुमा तिनीहरुकै कमेन्ट आयो, तिनीहरु कमेन्ट नआइकन हामीले डिफेन्ड गर्नुपर्ने, हामीले हुन्छ नि सोलिडारिटीमा आउनुपर्ने आवश्यकता नै थिएन.
जब पहिला त्यो भिडियो आयो, there were fewer guys involved with that video, and I was kind of the one who complained to Mukesh saying तिमीहरुले यस्तो भिडियो बनायो, मलाई किन इन्क्लुड नगरेको, like if you guys doing something the next time, I definitely want to be a part of that because it's really incredible भनेको थिए.
So there's two Nepali groups, Subtle Nepali Dating and Subtle Nepali Traits. It's kind of a community on Facebook, and where a lot of Nepalese people get to meet on there. So I'm a moderator for Subtle Nepali Dating, and Saurav was a moderator for Subtle Nepali Traits.
It was a group that brought together everybody from all parts of the world that were Nepali. You have people from Australia, you have people from Nepal, you have people from everywhere, and most of these people, you have the students, you have the people who've lived there for as long as like their whole lives, and things like that. You see different opinions, different people have different opinions. You have the people who want to speak up, but then they're afraid of the backlash that's going to come at them. They're afraid of what the other person will judge them on saying and stuff like that. So when like you said, when Prajwal kind of brought up the idea, let's do this as a positive message and stuff like that.
So the idea rooted from me and Vic seeing one of our friends do it, and he just sent me a DM of it saying, hey, we should do something like this. And then we were like, at first we were just joking, like, yeah, sure, let's do it. But then we gathered everyone, and then the idea just came about, and we made the video with all the guys. So at first we posted it on Subtle Nepali Dating, as Saurav said, just as a joke. Just for entertainment purposes.
Prajwal reached out, and we had all of us started kind of talking in the group chat kind of about the posts we've been seeing on Subtle Nepali Traits, where it's just it first came out about when one of the girls started posting their like Pass the Brush and all the hate that they were getting and stuff like that, and then the guys got together and
So at first we just posted it as a joke, and then so it got a lot of popularity, a lot of hate, but
guys, we're gonna get a lot of hate on our videos as well. Like the way we were looking at it, I knew like the guys, they were not gonna look at it the same way. And I guess the way we looked at it was completely different, completely different reason, but the way they were perceiving the message was completely off. And even with the same, like the girls were just making a simple video that the whole world was doing, was just passing on the thing, just changing their outlook. and just just kind of posing. I didn't think that was a big deal with it. Like, we did it.
So yeah, I think the video originated from the girls getting all the hate. So from that, that's when we kind of realized what was going on in Nepal and all the insecure men that were commenting on these females. So that's when we kind of realized like it's a real issue in Nepal and around these Nepali communities. So so we had a video just to spread that positive message.
Going into the video, I think we kind of already knew that was the kind of mindset that they had. So that's why we kind of were like, okay, they have this kind of mindset, and instead of them kind of targeting the girls, let's see what kind of message or what kind of hate that they will bring into kind of ours, because we knew there was going to be a lot of hate going into it before we even did it. We were like, okay, we're going to get all these comments, but we can't just kind of respond back to them with just fighting back to them. It has to be either humor or just kind of like somewhat trying to go with their jokes, but to like kind of turn it around and stuff like that. But I think the majority of us already kind of knew that this was the culture, this was kind of the mindset that most of the guys already had, and we were kind of expecting to get the messages that we did get, or like not to the extent, but the kind of like.
This wasn't the first post that I've noticed with bad comments. Like, there have been a bunch of posts in SND, SNT, where like, I don't know, for some reason these guys think they have like, you just have the rights to go there and comment, like all these mean comments, like if it's related with age, color, like weight, and then like they just have to write it. They just have to tell them. They don't think about like consequences that other person might like have, or they might have. They don't want to come online and just look at them just getting bashed by Nepal, your own kind of people. So,
I mean, there were just so many people, like other women, other men, who were defending the girls in the video. And we were all supporting each other. We were like liking our comments, and we were like, hey, yeah, I agree with you. And even despite that, there were these guys, these insecure men, who kept feeling the need to interject. Yeah, it's like, how entitled are you? And how are these things not getting to you? How do you not see that what you're saying is problematic, first of all? And second, like, all these people are getting together against you. How are you still thinking that you are right? Yeah. And just that ego and unwillingness to listen was, I think, the most appalling thing for me. And that shows we still have a long way to go.
I was surprised, but like also not surprised, because I have had this encounter with men, and I've seen this happening in Nepal. But even more shocking, I've had this experience US में आएर पनि क्या. So it's not just that we have to like say नेपालमा भएको मान्छेहरु जस्तो हुन्छ, US मा आएपछि we're like, I think US भित्रै पनि there are still men around who think and feel the same way. And I think it's because of what you do with the opportunities you have. Okay? Like,
it kind of goes back to kind of how we are, the whole difference between men and women and how they're treated, because they were ruthless with the girls, telling them, oh, you guys look like this, the reasons we shouldn't trust the internet, makeup, oh, you doing all this, who are you trying to show off to, all of this. And then for kind of like for the girls, they went all out, but then for the guys, if you were to compare the overall post, there were even girls in the girls posts that were hating on the girls. Now, it wasn't just all males, it was even girls who were doing that. Now, compared to our post, we had a lot of support from the girls. We had a lot of support from the girls. We had a lot of support from girls all around the world, and we had a lot of support from the guys. But then as you saw, there was a lot more hate on theirs.
As men, as people who have privilege, who society le hamलाई त्यति भन्दैन के, हामीले के गर्यौं भने के भन्यौं भने हामीलाई त्यति ब्लो ब्याक आउँदैन, किनभने त्यो हाम्रो प्रिभिलेज हो नि. अनि जब महिलाहरूले के गर्दाखेरि त्यही experience hate, if women defend other women, झन् त्यो हुन्छ नि, तिमीहरूलाई के थाहा छैन भन्ने हुन्छ. So like, as men, we need to step in, and we need to be like, okay, no, we're not going to stand up for this injustice. And I think that's our role in the society.
मेरो मामाको छोरीहरु, I don't know, I have 6 मामाको छोरी, and then 6 जना are already married, and 3 of them have kids. And when I compare it to the choras, they're trying to like to go to Australia or do something. So that is so ingrained even in our own families. So if some guy is grown up with that kind of setting around him, he can't really make sense where we're coming from and why we're supporting all of this, and that's the problem. That's one of the main problems, I think.
हाम्रो केटाकेटी दुवैजनाको माइन्डसेटमा there's this idea of exclusivity. केटाहरूलाई आफ्नो फेमिनिटी एक्सप्लोर गर्न इन्करेज गरिँदैन. केटाहरूलाई आफ्नो फेमिनिन क्यारेक्टरिस्टिकहरू हुन्छ नि, अब गुडियासँग खेल्ने अथवा अरू हुन्छ नि फ्ल्याम्बोइन्ट तरिकाले लुगा लाउने अथवा लाइक इभन बिङ इन्टु फेसन पिरियड हुन्छ नि, केटाहरूलाई सपिङ नो द्याट्स लाइक गर्ल्स थिङ टु डु जस्तो सिकाएको हुन्छ होइन. अनि अन द फ्लिप साइड केटीहरूलाई हुन्छ नि स्पोर्ट्स नहेर्ने अनि एथलेटिक नहुने अनि हुन्छ नि लाइक देयर्स अगाडिदेखि नै सिकाएको कति डिभाइडहरू हुन्छ. अनि त्यो कारणले अलि पर्सनल रिलेसनसिपहरू डेभलप गर्दाखेरि guys will only have good guy friends and girls will only have good girl friends होइन. अनि त्यो कारणले when you actually develop these अब उमेर आएपछि त guys and girls start mingling अनि but they only see each other as sexual objects. They only see each other as like the other I need them in my life because I'm heterosexual, but I can't see of them as like a friend apart from that, right? And they're never taught to think of it that way, right?
So I was always comfortable with my feminine side as well because I was extremely confident with my male side as well. It wasn't like a thing that I had to kind of distinguish, right? So since I was comfortable with these sides, just growing up, so I guess like in Nepal and backtracking what Mukesh said, like who you are friends with kind of shapes you, right? So having these female friends, I've become comfortable with what we did, right?
Growing up, I had mostly female friends. I don't know why, but like I was always closer to women than I was with men. Like I do experience that. A lot of the men or male friends I had later on in my life, they're like inherently misogynistic even though they're not trying to be, right? But like I've seen my close friends go through some very typical struggles for women, right? So like I know how it is, and a lot of my male friends, they don't have that because they didn't have those friends growing up. And so I do think another big problem is this divide. Some like so unlearning these things, it's very, very important because I'm like हुन्छ नि के सोचेको हुँदैन त्यति डिपली यो भनेको यस्तै हो हाम्रो चलन यस्तो हो हाम्रो कल्चर यस्तो हो द्याट्स द वे अफ लाइफ अनि यहाँ आएपछि अरु कुरो देख्छौं अरु मान्छेहरुको कुरा सुन्छौं एक्सपीरियन्स गर्छौं त्यसपछि बुझ्न थाल्छौं ए हामीले कति पैसा यो कुराहरु अनलर्न गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ नयाँ कुराहरु सिक्नलाई.
And because you're raised up in a certain manner, there are certain things that are just in your head and it just slips out of your mouth when you say, oh, it's Chapasto Kali or something like that. You hear your friends say, and Geeta Kali man Gori man and yeah, like people are dancing and rejoicing and you can't stop the music and be like, what's important is you first know to yourself that what's being portrayed there is wrong, and you can tell somebody that.
The unlearning process happened through conversations. It happened through because majority of my friends are all girls, and then kind of just talking to them, learning stories, kind of experiencing things, just conversations, stories, learning, changing your group's environment, and all of that. And that's kind of one of the biggest, and I think one of like the proudest things that I've kind of would say, and it took a long time to unlearn, but I'm glad it did.
It's just surrounding myself with positive people, someone I can learn from more than people that can bring me down. I hang around with people that can bring me up more. So that's kind of my process through that.
Whenever we talk about like gay people, everybody has a wrong connotation. Like the hearing word gay makes people kind of cringe, or like they don't like that. So like my knowledge and my understanding was the same. Like there's literally no difference between them and us. It's that talking to people, understanding what they see versus how they feel. I mean, there's no difference. I mean, so that's just a short example of me, how I was learning things when I first came to the US. Just talking to people, just having a simple conversation changes a lot of things.
Conversations on it's about women and how society sees them, but I think it bleeds very easily into LGBTQ issues, because like talking about femininity and masculinity, it all blends together in sexuality and gender. So, you know, I'm glad you brought it up.
In general, yeah, हामी यस्तो सोच्दै सोच्दैन यस्तो कुरा we don't have these kind of talks with anybody, even like maybe like this डरले होला अथवा लाजले होला, we tend to not have these kind of conversations within our community, but that needs to change.
So the केटीहरूको post was earlier than ours. Ojaswile post गरेको, and that's where the big hubbub started.